This is your USMNT weekly update from February 23rd to February 28th. If you're new here, this is our weekly series where every Monday we update you on how USMNT Players Abroad did on the previous week, and we also give you our opinion, our insights. It's pretty good series, so make sure you subscribe to the channel. If you're old here, don't forget to hit the like button and comment down below your thoughts on the video. But I do want to start a new series in this channel, which we likely will start at the end of this month, where we do a power ranking of the players and how they did over the month, the USMNT Players Abroad Power Ranking monthly series. Alright, so what you guys can do to help the series is comment down below your player of the week. Who was the best player of the previous week, and why do you think he was the player of the week? That would probably help, and depending on the comments, a very good comment, we could put you to feature in a video, your comment. We'll see. We're still figuring out how we're going to do that series, but without any further ado, let's just roll the episode. Okay, let's start with transfers and transfer rumors. So the first one is Jesse Marsch. He has been linked to Celtic from Scotland. He has been linked before to Gladbach in Germany. So we could see Jesse Marsch leave Salzburg eventually, maybe this summer. I would personally love to see him go to a loaded club with lots of money, PSG, Manchester, and just see how he would do with that, as there is a relationship of money and trophies. But that's just Jesse Marsch. Now let's talk about Gio Reyna. Gio Reyna has also been linked to Manchester City on a deal that would take him and Haaland to Manchester. If the rumor is true, Reyna would still stay at Dortmund for another season on loan. I'm okay with that. He would stay another season on Dortmund alone, gain more experience, then come to Manchester City, likely still be at the bench for Kevin De Bruyne, but he would gain more experience on Dortmund. I'm okay with that if it happens, but it's just a rumor. Now let's go to the player updates, and I'm going to start with Christian Pulisic. Alright, Christian Pulisic. Pulisic started off at the bench on Tuesday for Chelsea at their 1-0 win versus Atletico Madrid for the Champions League round of 16. Pulisic came in the 87th minute, which pretty much had no playing time at all. Now on Sunday, Chelsea played Manchester United, and Pulisic came into the game at the 65th minute coming off the bench. He had an okay game. He didn't do too well, didn't do too bad. He played more of a central role as a second striker. And no, he didn't play as a false nine, even though many were saying that. That's not a false nine role. And they were asking me on Twitter a lot if I prefer Pulisic playing wide or central, and I truly don't care. It's okay if he plays wide or central. The thing is, Christian Pulisic does need space to go at the defender. He's not a tight space player. He's more a go at the defender on speed. And if you're playing wide, you get more of those opportunities. So I do personally prefer him playing wide a little bit. But if he plays as a second striker versus a team that spreads the field, I'm okay with that. He needs space to go at the defender. Not a tight space player. And I'm not worried about his form. He'll pick it up. He's quality. It's just a bad form, bad time for him. He'll pick it up. Don't worry about it. Let's go to Weston Mckennie. On Saturday, Weston Mckennie started off at the bench for Juve at their 1-1 draw at Verona. Mckennie came in the 68th minute for Aaron Ramsey. Okay, now Gio Reyna from Borussia Dortmund. On Saturday, Gio Reyna was back at the starting lineup for Dortmund at their 3-0 win over Armenia. Reyna was subbed off at the 70th minute for that game and had an okay match. Honestly, it's perfectly fine for Reyna to be benched a few times right now because it's his first professional season, first full professional season. He's definitely fatigued, he's tired, and he got some rest. He's back at the starting lineup, and I expect him to start more often until the end of the season. And I am super optimistic on Gio Reyna this season and for the future. Alright, now Sargent Dest from Barcelona. On Wednesday, Dest started off the bench for Barcelona at their 3-0 win over Elche at La Liga. Dest came in for Alba at the 76th minute, and he played as a left back, not his best position. And then all the fans that want him to play as a left back are going to say, see, he's a left back. No, he's not. He's a right back. He can't play as a left back. On Saturday, Barcelona faced Sevilla for La Liga. And I say La Liga because they do face Sevilla on Wednesday, this Wednesday, again for the Copa del Rey. Dest started for Barcelona at their 2-0 win over Sevilla. He played mostly as a right wing back for Barcelona as they had a 3-defender formation. It was good to see him play alongside of Mingueza. Overall, he had an okay performance, nothing special. I do expect from him more when he plays as a right wing back, but I'm okay. He started, Mingueza was in the field too, so it's good to see both of them playing at least until Sergio Roberto's back, and then we'll see what happens to Sargent Dest. Alright, now Tyler Adams, and he had a pretty good weekend. On Saturday, Tyler Adams started and played a full 90 minutes for Leipzig at their 3-2 win over Gladbach. Big win, and it was one heck of a comeback, being down 2-0. Adams was one of the best players in the field with over 120 touches, 85% of his passes completed out of 91, and he won 9 out of his 13 duels for the ball. Fantastic game from Tyler Adams, and there's a few things to observe from this game that don't show up at the stat sheet, such as his pressing game, which we always talk about that. Fantastic week for Tyler Adams. Okay, now we're moving to the goalkeeper position, and Zach Steffen once again did not get any minutes. He's still benched by Ederson, and it's expected to continue like that as Ederson's one of the best goalkeepers in the world. Now let me update you guys on Ethan Horvath. Horvath tested positive for the virus, which we can't talk about the name because sometimes YouTube won't let us. So, well, he will be quarantined and miss a few games for Club Brugge. He didn't start anyway, but he won't even be at the bench for the next few matches. Okay, now we're going to the center back positions, and we'll start with John Brooks. On Saturday, Wolfsburg won 2-0 versus Hertha Berlin. Brooks did not play as he was suspended for reaching the yellow card limits, and Wolfsburg has been red hot the past few weeks. Now, Chris Richards. On Thursday, Richards started and played a full 90 minutes for Hoffenheim at their 2-0 loss to Molde at the Europa League, and Hoffenheim is now knocked out of the Europa League. Richards' comments about winning the Europa League did not age very well. On Sunday, Hoffenheim faced Union Berlin for the Bundesliga, and Richards started and played a full 90 minutes at their 1-1 draw. I do find it interesting that Chris Richards is playing as a left center back, as he mostly plays as a right center back and a right back. But it's good to see him play there, but I do think his skills are better used at the right side of the field, but just shows his versatility on the defensive end. Alright, Eric Palmer-Brown, update on him. He's injured and he's out for 2 to 4 weeks, so we won't see Eric Palmer-Brown play for roughly a month. So now let's go to Matt Miazga. On Sunday, Miazga started and played a full 90 minutes for Anderlecht at their 3-1 win over Standard Liège for the Belgium League. Now Kik Piri and Luca De La Torre. I'm going to talk about both of them together. On Saturday, Kik Piri and Luca De La Torre started for the Twente derby between Heracles and Twente. The game ended 2-2 and both players played a full 90 minutes and had okay performance. Kik Piri did a little bit better. Alright, now Mark McKenzie. On Friday, McKenzie started off at the bench for Genk at their 2-1 win over Charleroi. McKenzie came in the 92nd minute as their coach was trying to waste time. You know, trying to waste time, kind of like what El Tri does when they have the lead in the game. And McKenzie pretty much didn't play. Alright, now Carter Vickers from Bournemouth. On Wednesday, Carter Vickers started and played a full 90 minutes for Bournemouth at their 2-1 loss to Cardiff City. On Saturday, Carter Vickers started again and played a full 90 minutes again at their 1-0 win over Watford. A clean sheet, so that looks good to me. Now we're going to talk about the fullbacks, and I'll start with Anthony Robinson. On Sunday, Robinson started off at the bench for Fulham at their 0-0 draw with Crystal Palace. It seems like him being at the bench was a tactical decision from manager Scott Parker since he went for 4-defender formation. And usually when he goes with a 4-defender formation, you want a left back that's fairly decent on the defensive end, and that's not Robinson's main thing. But he quickly changed that as he put Robinson in the halftime. So he does still trust Robinson. I think he did regret putting him at the bench. Okay, now Reggie Cannon from Boavista at Liga NOS. On Friday, Cannon stayed at the bench for the full 90 minutes for Boavista at their 2-1 loss to Vitória at Liga NOS. Mathew Olasunde. On Tuesday, Olasunde started for Rotterdam at their 1-0 loss to Nottingham Forest. Olasunde was subbed off at the game at the 66th minute when the game was still 0-0. On Saturday, Olasunde started and played a full 90 minutes for Rotterdam at their 1-0 loss to Reading. Okay, now DeAndre Yedlin from Galatasaray. On Saturday, Yedlin started and played a full 90 minutes for Galatasaray at their 2-0 win over BBE. Now, I abbreviated their name because I did not feel like learning how to say it. And yes, it's a very difficult name. If you guys want to look up who Yedlin played this weekend and try to say that name. Unless you're Turkish. Alright, we reached the midfielders of the USMNT Abroad series, so let's start with Yunus Musah. On Saturday, Yunus Musah started for Valencia at their 3-0 loss to Getafe at La Liga. He was subbed off at the 54th minute, mostly due to Diakabi, their center back, getting a red card. That forced Gracia, their manager, to take Yunus Musah out of the game to get a defender back in. So it was more of a tactical decision, nothing to do with his performance. Not that he was doing too great also, but it was more tactical. He likely would have played many more minutes if that didn't happen. Alright, now Chris Durkin. On Sunday, Durkin started for STVV at their 2-0 loss to Eupen. Durkin was subbed off at the 87th minute when it was only 1-0. Okay, now let's talk about Johnny Cardoso from Internacional in Brazil, the Brazilian-American. And if you guys want to learn more about him, make sure to check our video about Johnny Cardoso. His dad provided some valuable information for that video, so don't miss out. I could put it on the description. If anything, just look at our channel and you'll see Johnny Cardoso. On Thursday, Internacional almost won the Brazilian League. Cardoso sat at the bench the full 90 minutes at Inter's 0-0 draw with Corinthians. If they had won, they would have won the league. Now, the Brazilian League restarts very soon. There won't be much of a break for Cardoso as the state tournament, the Gauchão, starts March 1st. Today, so Internacional plays today. At the time of this recording, they haven't played yet. I will try to see if Cardoso will be starting. Maybe he'll start getting more minutes right now since a lot of the stars will be rested. So the Brazilian season doesn't have a break at all. They're starting today already. And it just ended this Thursday. Alright, quick update on Owen Atasawi. So he continues not to play at all for Wolves. He's often at the bench but doesn't come in. And one thing I said on Twitter, some people agree, some people disagree. I think Owen Atasawi eventually will just be a center back. I think that will be his position. Many say midfield. He's not that bad, his technical ability, but I think he has more of a technical ability of a center back. I know he said he doesn't like being a center back, but I think that will be the outcome of his career, him like it or not. Okay, now Brenden Aaronson, which we do have an interview with him coming up this week, this Wednesday. Don't miss out on the Brenden Aaronson interview. On Thursday, Brenden started for RB Salzburg at their 2-1 loss to Villarreal for the Europa League. Brenden was subbed off at the 60th minute, and Salzburg is now out of the Europa League. On Sunday, Brenden Aaronson started again for RB Salzburg at their 2-1 loss to Sturm Graz, and he was subbed off at the 69th minute. Sorry about the pronunciation, these Austrian names are kind of hard. Let's keep going with the video. So Taylor Booth. On Sunday, Booth started and played a full 90 minutes for Polten at their 2-0 loss to Austria Vienna. He also got a yellow card in the game and didn't do much. Julian Green, he didn't play because he does have also the virus and he's currently quarantined. So Julian Green's not active for now, but he should be back next week, I believe. After many requests, Dwayne Holmes is at the channel. On Tuesday, Holmes started for Huddersfield at their 2-0 loss for Derby County, the team managed by Wayne Rooney. He was subbed off at the 74th minute. Now on Saturday, Holmes started for Huddersfield and played 54 minutes at their 3-0 loss to Preston. He was mostly a left winger for that game, so he didn't really have that hot of a week as he had the previous week, but we'll continue to cover him at the channel. We move to the forwards now. We're getting to the end of the video, so by now I hope you guys hit that like button and subscribe to the channel, for Christ's sake. If you've made it this far, you should have had the like button by now. Okay, so let's start with Tim Weah. On Thursday, Weah started for Lille at their 2-1 loss to Ajax at the Europa League. Weah was subbed off at the 78th minute. They are now knocked out of the Europa League, which the positive is they can focus on the French league and try to win it over PSG. Now on Sunday, unfortunately, Lille tied Strasbourg 1-1 for the French league. Weah started off at the bench and came in the 61st minute to help Lille rescue a late draw. So now PSG is close again. I don't think Lille will win the French league, even though they're going to focus on it. PSG is stacked, but it has been an impressive run from them. Let's hope they can win so Weah can be a French league champion, but don't get too optimistic. Alright, Mathew Hoppe. On Saturday, Mathew Hoppe started for Schalke at their 5-1 loss to Stuttgart, and he was subbed off at the 74th minute. He did not play well, but then again, the entire team did not do too well. At least Materazzo, our American manager, was able to continue a solid campaign with Stuttgart as they currently sit at 10th place. Okay, now Alex Mithkin from Nottingham Forest. So Alex stayed a full 90 minutes at the bench at their 1-0 loss to Rotherham for the championship. And Friday, well, he wasn't even at the roster for them. So no minutes for Alex this week. Okay, Daryl Dike, my boy from Orlando City. Daryl Dike started off at the bench for Barnsley at their 2-0 win over Stoke City last Wednesday. Dike came in the 62nd minute and scored Barnsley's second goal at the 90th minute. Yes, the center back did fail at the play. The goalkeeper was out late, but it was still a good run and a solid finish by Daryl Dike. Congratulations, Dike. Like I said, good run, good finish for Dike as he adjusts to a new league. On Saturday, Dike started for Barnsley at their 2-1 win over Millwall. He played 75 minutes and did not do very well as he lost most of his air duels, winning only 2 out of 12, had bad passing. It's a game to forget for Daryl Dike. So he has been struggling a little bit for Barnsley. People have been saying he's been doing so well. He hasn't been doing that well. He's not doing too bad, but not too well. And he's not playing as a right winger. Stop that rumor. He's not playing as a right winger. All right, now let's go to Nico Giocchini. On Saturday, Nico Giocchini started and played a full 90 minutes for Caen at their 2-0 loss to Paris FC for League 2. Now, Josh Sargent from Werder Bremen. On Friday, Josh Sargent started for Werder at their 2-1 win over Eintracht Frankfurt. Sargent scored their winning goal on this big comeback. He was then subbed off at the 79th minute. Congratulations also to Josh Sargent for scoring, because they love criticizing him when he doesn't, so please praise him when he scores too. And I still think he's the best center forward that we have currently. Thiesson Siabachau, the French American. On Thursday, Siabachau started for Young Boys at their 2-0 win over Bayer Leverkusen for the Europa League, where they knocked out the German Giants, with Siabachau scoring 3 goals in 2 matches. For this game, he was subbed off at the 78th minute and he scored one of their goals. On Sunday, Siabachau started off the bench for Young Boys at their 2-2 draw with Luzern at the Swiss League. He came into the game at the 64th minute. Alright, now Pau Arriola from Swansea. Unfortunately, no updates on Jordan Morris as he's injured and done for the season. Very unfortunate. Hopefully he gets a very speedy recovery. On Wednesday, Pau Arriola stayed at the bench the full 90 minutes for Swansea at their 1-0 win over Coventry. On Saturday, Pau Arriola started off the bench for Swansea at their 3-1 loss to Bristol City, and he came in the 80th minute. As you can see, many players that were very successful in the MLS are struggling in the championship, such as Pau Arriola. Jordan Morris was struggling prior to his injury, Daryl Dike, and I know you're going to say they haven't played that long there, but it's been already 6 games and they should have had an impact. That just shows that maybe the championship is a higher level than the MLS, and the MLS defense does have to improve. That's why we talk about how players that do well in the MLS doesn't mean they'll do well internationally on a higher level. No hate for the MLS. I'm a big fan. I work with an MLS club, but I just wanted to make that clear. All right, now Emmanuel Sabi. On Sunday, Sabi started for Odense at their 2-1 win over Renders. He scored their first goal and was subbed off at the 76th minute. Sabi has 5 goals, 4 assists, and 18 games played this season. Alright guys, we're reaching out the end of the video. Hopefully you're subscribed, hit the like button, and make sure, don't forget, we're going to have plenty of live streams for the USMNT this month, as they have 5 to 7 games this month. Amazing. Before I go, don't forget to comment down below your player of the week after you heard all the updates. And now I'm going to read a couple players that we normally update you guys on, but they had no game time or no impact this week. Henry Wingo, CJ Dos Santos, Odunze, Shaquille Moore, Sebastian Soto, Joe Scally, Conrad de la Fuente, Ulysses LLanez, Tyler Boyd, Haji Wright, and Brian Reynolds. Alright guys, I want to thank you all very much for watching, and have a great day.